Last season, statistically, the Lions had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. They ranked third to last in points per game allowed, their secondary struggled, and they especially struggled against the run. But we all know the Lions were the youngest team in the NFL last season, and throughout the year, we saw glimpses of hope from the secondary and defensive line. Rookies James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, Kerby Joseph improved week after week and stepped up and made really big plays. And they showed everyone they're going to be of extreme value for this Lions defense in the upcoming seasons. Now, even though the Lions statistically were one of the worst defenses in the NFL, if you watched the Lions, you saw them improve week after week, and throughout the last 8 games of the season, they didn't play like the worst defense in the NFL. This defense showed that they can compete and play at a high level. And that's what I want to get into today. After watching the Lions defense improve week after week, and with their additions of free agency and the NFL draft, I believe the Lions secondary to be top tier and one of the best in the league right now. Now, this claim may be a bit bold to make, and I'd understand if you don't agree with me, but at the very least, I'm going to tell you why the Lions at least have a top 10 secondary. I looked online to find some lists of people ranking the NFL secondaries, and this one I found was the most recent, coming out on May 5th, and they ranked the Lions secondary at 19th. And I felt like 19th was a bit low for the Lions. Maybe it's just a bias of being a Lions fan, but I really just don't think their secondary ranks that low in the NFL. Now, I didn't take this one to heart though. I kind of just discredited it because under key departures, he didn't list Okudah, and I feel like that just tells you all you need to know. Ranking 32 team secondary is not going to be easy. It's a lot of players to know, it's a lot of research, but missing the key departure of Okudah, that was one of the biggest storylines for the Lions secondary this past offseason. Granted, there was a lot of news coming out regarding the Lions secondary as they made so many moves, but that was huge, trading away a past first round pick. Anyway, we all know the Lions totally revamped their secondary, so let's dive in and take a look at their starting lineup. First up, we have Tracy Walker entering his 6th season with Detroit and in the NFL. He was drafted back in the 3rd round of 2018 under Patricia and Bob Quinn. Throughout training camp before Walker's rookie season and during Walker's rookie season, he worked extremely hard and found a role in the lineup. Walker mainly played free safety and ended up having a pretty solid rookie season. But sadly, after his fairly dominant rookie season, Patricia used his big brain of his and started to play Walker inside the box, having him play up towards the line of scrimmage, having him be a linebacker / safety. Walker's production went down because he excels at playing free safety, not in the box. And for his 3rd season with the Lions, Patricia felt like it was a good idea to have him play less free safety and play in the box even more, even though his production was going down. And as you guessed it, Walker's production continued to drop. As you see on the right, the PFF grade dropped from 89.9 his rookie season to 51 his 3rd season. Then jumping to Walker's 4th season with Detroit 2021, new ownership and Campbell and Glenn put Walker at free safety. His PFF grade jumps up to 65.1, not as high as his rookie season, but still an upgrade, and I feel like this score also doesn't reflect how well Walker played at certain points during the season, as his PFF score ranked in the top 5 for various weeks, ranking all of the NFL safeties. Coming into 2022, Tracy Walker sadly tore his Achilles during week 3 against the Vikings. He did still manage to have one of the highest PFF grades of the Lions secondary, but he only played 3 games. The injury really does suck to see. It was unlucky that he had to go out for the rest of the season, but coming into this year, I have high expectations for Walker. He's already back training after his Achilles tear. He's been back in the gym for a few months now. If you go on his Twitter, he's always posting workout videos and how motivated he is, and I have high expectations for Walker coming back next season, and I think he's going to have a big production. Obviously, just working hard and being motivated isn't everything, but this is going to be Walker's 6th season in the NFL, hopefully his 5th full season in the NFL, and Walker's a playmaker. He's come up clutch for the Lions multiple times, and with Walker's experience in the NFL, he's going to be playing what he enjoys and what he excels at. Free safety. He said when the ownership changed, he felt like he could just be himself. With all those things and seeing how motivated he is, I think Walker could enter his prime and become the comeback player of the year. The next starter of the Lions secondary we're looking at is Aaron Rodgers' father, safety Kerby Joseph. Kirby Joseph came into last season as a rookie, taken 97th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft in the 3rd round, and he's come out to be a steal for Brad Holmes and the Lions. He came into the season not going to be a starter, but after Tracy Walker went down after week 3, Kirby Joseph started the rest of the season, and as a rookie drafted in the 3rd round, played unbelievable. 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, 3 from Aaron Rodgers, and had 8 pass deflections. If you watched the Lions games, you saw how amazing Kirby Joseph was. I mean, deflecting touchdown passes that were relatively wide open that the quarterback felt like he just threw a touchdown pass, and then Kirby Joseph would come out of nowhere, recover, and get a few fingers on the ball and save a touchdown. Joseph had an amazing rookie season. With this offseason and training camp, preseason, he's going to be scary next year. The next player to look at, another one of the Lions' new additions, CJ Gardner Johnson. First off, a lot of people already know that Gardner Johnson is one of the best safeties in the league right now. I don't really need to tell you how good he is, because if you just go on Twitter and look at some of the replies he gets when he tweets about being on the Lions or just anything for that matter, there's a bunch of salty Philly fans. Gardner Johnson led the league in interceptions last year, recording 6 of them. He's an absolute ball hawk. He has crazy speed, crazy strength, incredible IQ, and he's a huge addition to this Lions defense. He's been in the league for a while. He has a good amount of experience. He'll be able to coach up Kirby Joseph. He also played under Aaron Glenn, the Lions' current defensive coordinator, back in New Orleans, and their defense in New Orleans those years were pretty good, and he has a great relationship again with Aaron Glenn. Moving to the cornerbacks, we have Emmanuel Moseley coming from the 49ers last season. Kind of a steal for the Lions. Moseley's entering his 6th season in the NFL. He was playing for the 49ers last season, playing some high-level football for one of the best defenses in the NFL, but sadly, he tore his ACL, and that was, I believe, one of the reasons why the 49ers didn't re-sign him. Because for the level that Moseley was playing at, if he would have continued playing at that high level, the 49ers most likely would have re-signed him, but sadly, because of his injury, he was out. It's kind of a question on the table. People aren't always the same coming back from injuries, and the Lions picked him up, and he should be a stud. And then for the 5th starter, the 2nd cornerback, Cameron Sutton, coming from Pittsburgh. He's entering his 7th year in the NFL, and when the Lions signed him, Pittsburgh Nation was shocked. They had said they really liked Sutton, they were already negotiating with Sutton, but the Lions put the money up and took him to Detroit. Sutton finished last season with a 72.2 overall PFF grade, a 73.6 run defense, and a 71 cover grade with 15 passes deflected and 3 interceptions. Sutton's a stud defender. He's going to be with Detroit for at least 3 years, and I'm excited to watch all of these players come together next season. After looking at the Lions starting 5 for the secondary, there are still more studs, and the next one is Jerry Jacobs. Jacobs was an undrafted free agent, and in 2021 Brad Holmes picked him up, and he was an absolute steal. Looking at the top 5 cornerback passer ratings last season, Jerry Jacobs had the 3rd best one out of all the cornerbacks in the NFL, which is just unbelievable, doing that in your 2nd season in the NFL after being an undrafted free agent. And just more props to Brad Holmes. He's just a demon at finding these players. And the next player that we're going to look at, everyone knows is coming, Brian Branch. The biggest steal of the 2023 NFL Draft. The Lions got him in the 2nd round after trading up with the Green Bay Packers, and the Lions got themselves another stud. Branch was the number 1 rated safety in all the draft. He dropped to the 2nd round, and the Lions were lucky to pick him up. In Branch's 2nd year at Alabama, he didn't miss a single tackle. And it's crazy he didn't miss a single tackle, as before he came to Alabama, he was a wide receiver recruit. And obviously coming in as a wide receiver recruit, he wasn't good at tackling. He came in, worked his ass off, and in his 2nd season, he didn't miss a single tackle. Another thing coming from being a wide receiver recruit, Branch has amazing hands. so it's going to be really exciting if he can bring down some crazy interception. Branch is also very versatile. He's good at playing a linebacker slash cornerback role, playing in the box as what Tracy Walker struggled in, and as he's so versatile, he's probably going to be a matchup defender, purposely being set on certain wide receivers. And if Gardner Johnson for some reason can't come back to Detroit after the 1 year, Branch is a great second option. It's just unbelievable that the Lions got Brian Branch in the second round. It was huge for the Lions. And the Lions also even have a little bit of more depth with Will Harris, Chase Lucas, and Jack Campbell. The new linebacker specializes with coverage over the middle, which the Lions definitely struggled with last season. Overall, this Lions secondary looks extremely scary. There's a lot of talent here, a decent amount of depth, and I'm excited to watch all of them come together next season and hopefully be one of the best in the NFL. I have high expectations. I currently think that they're going to be at least a top 10 secondary, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how it pans out.